Hi guys, this is just a tutorial about developing shadows. So this is the page that you've actually got in your booklets, your homework booklet, and what I'm wanting you to do is to redraw each of these on the other page that you've got there. I'm just going to run through some of the basic principles here of shadow. This is sort of going to come from sort of a nondescript sort of lighting source, so everything's going to be parallel. We will do one, we won't look at perspective, but we're just going to look at one where it's sort of got an ill-defined sort of lighting source. So the first thing that you've got to do is you're going to draw a box. So we'll draw one in isometric. Remember, you can start with the Y. And then we've just got some vertical lines. And these ones are all parallel. And what I'm going to do here is I'll use the red pen to indicate there are two areas that we're going to project lines through. First of all through the base, and then we're going to do it through the top. And what's going to happen here is we've got to indicate maybe where a light source is coming from. So let's say it's coming from this angle. You're going to establish a line that comes on through. So let's say I draw a line on through there, and parallel to that another line through there and another line through there. Now in terms of how high the light is coming from, what we're going to do is we'll establish a line that's going to come through one of these points here, and that'll give us an indication of sort of how steep an angle the light is coming from. So in this case I'm going to draw one coming down through there. Now you've got to do the same again, parallel for each of these. Okay. And what should happen is that we sort of get them overlapping or conflicting just here, here and here. Now those lines should hopefully be parallel to the base there. And there'll be another one here which should be parallel to that one there. And what that does is actually establish where the shadow is going to be. So if I just put a bit of a shadow in there. Now obviously you wouldn't shade it in like this, I'm just doing this roughly to give an indication of where that shadowing is. We also have to look at how we would apply some tone, which is sort of how light and dark this is going to be. Whoops, not really coming up. Obviously this would be sort of more a medium to dark sort of density, and this will be the same, sort of a dark to medium dark sort of density as well, showing that that's going to be shadowed on the back. Okay, we'll look into doing the rendering and the shading. That looks very shabby. But what we're interested in is your ability to be able to draw boxes and shadow them. The other one that I want to show you is really just the cylinder. So let's say we draw a cylinder. Oops, I need to come up a bit. So there's a cylinder. If I was going to project some light going to the back, if you can imagine that that's actually a cylinder at the bottom. If we draw a line going straight through here, and straight through there, and what we're going to do is think of where the light's coming from. So if it's coming from sort of this direction, we'll project a line out there in parallel, and remember at the top I'm going to come down on an angle, and then we're going to curve that around there, and that would be the area that's going to be in shade. Okay. So you can try that coming from different angles. Remember the parallel cutting through there. And what else do we want to have a go at? You can do it coming from the going forward. Sorry, what I mean, where the shadow is coming forward. So if I do that and that, project the light through, and then this one coming down, bit of a curve, and the shadow coming in forward like that. So that was the light source coming from that direction. This is the light source coming from that direction. Okay, have fun.